we have downloaded models from, my screen is visible.
Yes.
I have downloaded the model on that day. That was, I think, query.pdb. This was the model. Today I am giving some another sequence so that we'll be able to model this protein in the short span time. Okay, this is another protein of T. I'll submit this and I'll wait for the results. Now we have generated a model that we have viewed in PyMol. The title of that model was query.pdb that we have downloaded from CPH model. But this model is correct or not, I want to see right now. Okay, first of all, I'll open this model. But in continuation of this thing, we have to check what is the tool Verify 3D. Please write this. This is the model which I want to open that we have generated in our last practical class. Okay. Now, I want to know that this is the Verify 3D. Here is a combination of 5 things known as saves. The form of saves is basically structure, annotation, and validation, which has what check, pro check, iterate, verify, 3D, and prove. What we want only, first we want 2 things out of these: verify 3D and other is pro check. For pro check, we need Ramachandran plot analysis. For verify 3D, either our structure is falling on 3-dimensional compact environment or not. Means it will determine, here it has been written, the compatibility of an atomic model with its own amino acid sequences by assigning class based on its, means in layman language you can say what is the compactness of that structure. Is this structure is means there is any loop which is out of that structure, is there is any other corner which is out from some separate loop. Okay, means what is the compactness of this structure, how this structure is overall fitting in that particular place. This is the main thing. How we will validate this structure, we'll choose our structure and run verify 3D. Please do the same for your structures and then check status. See, this structure is fail. Means 42.57% of the residues have average 3-dimensional to 1D score is greater than 0.2, means you don't need this type of stat. The main thing that you need is only this structure is fail. You have only, this is 42.57% residues have average 3D, okay? But no, we'll model some other structure. Yeah, that I have modeled. I'll download this structure. This is the previous structure. I'll rename this previous structure so that I can save my structure as well. Again, query.pdb. Again, we'll open this. Now I have generated another structure. I'll see whether this structure is pass or fail. See, this structure is also fail. Okay, 66.17% of the residues have average 3D one-dimensional score. Okay, whenever it is more than 70%, then here you can find that your structure is passed. Okay, so these two structures are right now, these are fail. I'll model some another structure and I'll try to find that which structure is pass or which structure is fail. Okay. No, can you please do the same thing for your structures and show me whether your structures are pass or fail, so that I'll find something. Maybe you have some structures they are pass. Before acting on another structure, do you have any structures? Am I audible to
Yeah,
you?
yes, sir. We're trying actually. So one structure is failed for me. I will show you, and I'm trying another one.
Okay, no, please try. How many structures you have modeled? In the meantime, I'll try to find some structures which are some maybe good results or pass.
So is it like all the structures, if you take from the PDB will pass, the hypothetical proteins definitely will fail?
No. That this is the reason that we will able to model only 10 or 20 structures, but we can present only one structure.
Okay.
That is the reason, because in my whole paper, there are 200 proteins. I have modeled 50 proteins. I was able to present only two structures. I think in C. abortus, 4 structures. In Helicobacter pylori, only 2 or 3, because many structures they are fail. In case of hypothetical proteins, means we will choose only the precise things, only 2 or 3 things that we have will present in 100% surety. But with 50% surety, you can present only your domains and some PDB results. With 100% surety, you will present the structure of that protein, but structure should pass the verify 3D score as well. That is the important thing.
So it's not mandatory that your structure should pass through this to be in PDB. Generally, PDB is all like conformed structures and proteins, right?
No. PDB is basically we are modeling only in silico structures. But in PDB, there are a lot of structures which are basically validated by X-ray crystallography. Maybe there are some structures that fail. Maybe because those structures are but we are trying by using in silico means, so we ensure that our structure should pass. Because in silico things, you should be more careful. But when you can model a protein, when you can find the actual three-dimensional form of a structure, maybe sometimes these tools will not allow them, but 90% their structures present in PDB, they are pass.
Okay.
Yeah. Now see this structure. Is this visible?
Yeah.
Yes, see that I have modeled another structure. This is the structure I have modeled, and I have downloaded this structure, and now I put this structure in Verify 3D. Now see, 96.36 means 96.32% of the residues have average 3D score, which is more than 0.2, means 96.32% residues have the compactness in the three-dimensional part of that structure. If it is more than 80%, then you can say this is pass. If it is less than 80%, then the structure is fail. My previous structure was fail because there were only 42% or 66%. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Now, what is the next thing during when we have identified a structure, that is the structure is pass or not? In saves, which is used for the verification of the structures. Here is another tool which is known as ProCheck. ProCheck tool, please write this ProCheck as well. I'll upload the structure which is pass only. That is query 1. I'll run this ProCheck. Yesterday I told you about to study Ramachandran plot. If you have clear concepts about Ramachandran plot, you can easily see what is the Ramachandran plot of related to this structure. This is the Ramachandran plot of this structure. Means residues in most favored region, these are 124. Means 86.7% residues are in most favored region. And how many are in additional allowed regions? You should know what is a Ramachandran plot. That was your assignment. That's why I told you yesterday to read this Ramachandran plot. And in some generously allowed region, how many? This is only one residue. And in disallowed regions, there is no residue which is in disallowed region related to our structure. And we are showing this Ramachandran plot as well. Means we can write in our paper that 86.7 plus 12.6 means in allowed regions, either most favored regions, either additional allowed regions, we have 98% residues, 99% residues which are in allowed regions. Allowed regions including most favored regions and additionally allowed regions. Okay, means we have 99% residues are in allowed regions only. Okay, 99% means which is a good structure. We can visualize this structure. We can use this structure for our further analysis as well. These are the two most important tools, whether our structure is pass or fail. This was the previous structure. This was also previous structure because there is only 66.17%. And this is the structure that has given us the confirmation that this structure is pass. Okay. Now, another things what we want from this ProCheck analysis, firstly we need this Ramachandran plot, which is a very important part, and we'll show this Ramachandran plot in publication as well. I'll show you the publication. First, I think by relating the publication, you will know that what kind of things you can publish from your data. Because there are a lot of other things, like we have found several things in ProCheck: geometry, residues, psi plots, chain parameters. But we need only, right now, we need only Ramachandran plot. And today I'll also tell you a tool which is known as Fire2. Okay, I'll write the name about that's Fire2 server. For this server, we have to generate our login ID. After that login ID, I've generated some, but I forgot the password right now. Generate your login ID in Fire2. Many software. Yeah, I found. Now you can choose how many sequences you want to generate your models. Okay, we have some batch sequences. This is batch sequences. Switch to expert mode. Switch to expert mode. Then go for batch processing. Are you getting? This is the batch processing. Write your email here and you can run 100 sequences by choosing your file from this path. Just choose your file with 100 sequences and submit your batch job. You will be able to generate 100 models in a batch form. Okay, it will work same as that CPH model. It will generate your structure and give you template ID, that what kind of template it has selected. It will generate lot of sequences. Lot of sequences means it will select only 100 sequences, but 100 sequence for modeling the structures of 100 sequences, which are more than enough, because you have to analyze that structures as well. Now I'll show you this paper, because this is the most important part that we are working on. See, today what we have done means what we have learned. First of all, in this paper, I have used homology modeling method Fire2, okay, for predicting of the protein structure. Then before that, the quality, target and template approximation that you have already done. Okay. Then after predicting of the structure, the model were validated for probable errors by using structure analysis and verification server, which is known as SAVES program. In this SAVES program, there are two things. One is for residues in most favored regions. Ramachandran plot was analyzed in ProCheck. Okay, that I have shown you. This is the only the validation part of the structure. Okay. Same things I have done for other papers as well. This is the simulation part that we'll do in our next lecture, because for simulation you need to install GROMACS 96.5, this force field in your computer. Means you have to install GROMACS 5.0 package. That we'll do in our next lecture. Okay. Now, how many models you have generated, and what are the results related to verified 3D and Ramachandran plots? If structure is fail, still it will give you Ramachandran plot. Please show me your results. Now it will be easy for you that you can model lots of structures at once, and you will validate those structures by using 3D, verify 3D, and after finding that which structure is pass, you will go for ProCheck analysis, and finally you can say that out of 100 structures, out of 10 structures, out of 20 structures, I got 2 structures as the good models for those proteins. And further, for further analysis, what will we do? Firstly, I'll see your results. Then I'll go for some further analysis as well.
So may I present the screen?
Yes, yes, I'll stop sharing. Okay, now you should present.
So I modeled 3 results, out of which one is pass and the other 2 are fail.
Okay, no problem. You will select this pass only.
Yes, sir. So, sir, for this pass one, I did it on ProCheck. It is showing 4 problems, but
No problem, no problem. No issue. This is not an issue. Just show me your Ramachandran
this is
yes. Yeah. 86 point. Yeah, your structure is very fine. This is really a good structure that you have shown. Okay, you can use this structure for your further analysis or further presentation or further research studies. You can use this structure very well after finding the main active site residues, or how you can find those residues, that I'll tell you again. But this is the fine structure. And for other structures, those structures, this is a structure of a hypothetical protein.
Yes, sir.
Oh, fine. Means you have some data to publish. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Try some more structures so that you will be model some other structures, and you can present your work in better form.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
So now instead of CPH modeler, we can use this Fire2 tool.
Yes, Fire2 tool as well. You can use. You have to use this as.
I'll present my screen.
Yeah, please present.
No, actually, I tried for the 2 models. Both failed for me.
No issue. This is not a big issue.
So this is one.
63%. Okay.
Yeah. So this is another one.
Okay.
So one model is from PDB, It took the protein. That failed. And one is the hypothetical protein that failed. And
Okay.
I have done ProCheck for one
Yes.
hypothetical protein. This is the
Okay. Yeah, this is very fine. 91 plus 8, 99% residues are in allowed region, most favored regions. You can show this Ramachandran plot as well. Okay, no issue. Means you know that how to find this structure and how to validate this structure. Till date, you have learned that how to find the template of a structure, then how to find, first of all, you should know that how to extract the hypothetical proteins, and secondly, how to find the template conserved domains of those hypothetical proteins. Now our data is concised that from 200 or 400 proteins, only 100 proteins have conserved domains. No, for these 100 proteins, we'll find some template sequence. If there is no significant, how many proteins have some significant results? Maybe 50. From those 50 sequences, we'll model our proteins. Then we'll be able to find 1, 2, or 3 models only. So same is the case with my publication. Not one publication, I have 4 to 5 publications which are similar in this pattern. Okay, I'll show you other publications as well. So in this paper that I was showing to you, this I have modeled only, I think, 2 proteins out of, see how many proteins are there. See, lot of proteins are there. But finally, we're able to model only 2 proteins.
Sir, what exactly is the modeling the protein means actually? It should get a PDB file, is it, or how is it? What do you mean by
This,
modeling a protein?
first of all, do you know what is the primary, secondary, and tertiary structure of a protein?
Yeah.
Primary structure is basically the you are sequencing and you are finding some structure. This is just a simple chain of amino acids. And for a secondary structure, you know only there are some alpha helix and beta sheets from this position to this position, alpha helix from this position to this position. But what are their real, because if there is any protein, it is not present in primary or secondary as a primary or secondary structure in our body or in any protein or in any organism or in any pathogen. It will be present in the form of 3-dimensional structure only. So we are trying to predicting that some structures are already validated with similar conserved domains. What is their conformation in any pathogen in human body or in any other state in their native state, means where they are present. Maybe the protein which is still hypothetical, their structural conformations will be as same as their template, and their active sites are the probable conserved domains. They are present outside or inside of that structure. And what is the role of that protein? This is the main important thing. So for drug designing, we should identify some 3-dimensional structure, because maybe, see, you are able to see my screen here. Here for one structure, the active sites are present in one position is 176, other is 139, other is 85, and other is 83. Means there are in 4 positions: 176, 139, 85, and 83. If the sequence is linear, where these positions are lying, can you imagine? Means one is in 83 and other is in 139. Lot of difference in a primary structure. For secondary structure, we'll see there is a difference, but for 3-dimensional structure, see, this is the pocket. These interact with one chain with other chain, one domain with other domain, and they have generated a pocket. By this pocket, they are pursuing some important function in the human body. This is the pocket which is basically responsible to regulate the role by three-dimensional interactions of the side chains. Okay, so we need to model these structures. That is basically how to find the structural based alignment. Means we have found some active site, and these active sites are, see how close these are. These are the active sites which are very close to each other. In other structure, 256 or 252 and 514, how close these are. These domains interact, side chains interact, and they have produced a particular site for some ligand binding, for some drug designing. Means we have found this pocket, so we need to model these proteins. And this is basically in silico modeling, means structural. We are going to predict our model, but we are not sure that our model in really our model is like this or not. We are predicting this model, but our prediction results by using bioinformatics. Lot of people, they are successful in designing drugs. For example, in COVID-19, 5,000 I think people, they have designed drugs by using three-dimensional structure and one active site, and they have designed ligand, and they have formed patent for those drugs as well. Okay, and these kind of three-dimensional structures that we are going to model, we are just comparing our structure with available information in PDB, and we are trying to model our protein as similar structure which is present in PDB. Okay. Yeah. So there is an important means we need this is really very important to model a protein if we are going to form structure based drug designing. When we have modeled a structure, if you are writing one position, 2, 3, 4, 5, from 1 to 10 there is a lot of difference, 10 amino acid difference. 1 to 500 there is a 500 distance in primary structure. In secondary structure it will again far away from one first position, but in three-dimensional structure maybe 500 will interact with first position, and they both will form some new function for a pathogen, for a new protein, or they can regulate the function of other protein by interacting with themselves only. Okay, so this is the main thing that I want to show you. First of all, tell me whether I'll give you some data, or you yourself will select some hypothetical proteins and model those hypothetical proteins, and then you will find some 3D, verify 3D means you will see that how many models are pass or fail, what is the template of those models. And today you should try Fire 2 as well, and in front of me only right now. So who will start first? At least try 10 sequences in batch form. For example, I'll show you another method, not another method, this is the same method that we have earlier discussed, but I'll tell you one thing, that this is the NCBI. Now you are familiar with what is NCBI? If not, please read, go through this. This is a composite database. This is a database. Now we'll go towards genome. For example, I have selected a pathogen known as Entomobia histolytica. For this is the Entomobia histolytica. Now, genome assembly and annotation report. Okay. Now, which strain is more harmful in Entomobia histolytica? Right now, I don't know. I don't know which strain is more harmful, for which we need to survey a lot of literature. Okay. But I don't have so much time right now that I'll survey some literature and then I'll go for selecting those particular proteins either. But so randomly I'll select, for example, IMSSA, either IMSS. Let me select this IMSSA. I'll select this chain. Okay. Now I'll go to select the proteins of this particular chain. Then how many proteins are hypothetical? I'll write here that you know very well.
Sir, can we do the same thing for a disease?
For a disease means?
So, like drug targeting, what we are doing by Pymol.
Yeah, you can do. Why not?
But then they will not be hypothetical proteins.
But for a disease, for example, give me the example of some disease.
So, like Alzheimer's disease.
Is this Alzheimer has some particular pathogen?
So, there are different, it is actually not the pathogen which is mainly involved. There are tau and beta amyloid entangles. But there is a study that P. gingivalis, it is a bacteria in the mouth which has
Okay.
been thought to be responsible for Alzheimer's.
If genome is available, I'm sure there are hypothetical proteins in that particular bacteria.
Okay.
Okay, there are hypothetical proteins if genome is available. I don't know about that particular bacteria. So this is the basically, I think there is some bad gateway. There is an error in my system, in my area right now. Okay, maybe I don't know what is the issue. You can also select. This is the overall proteins. You can also select out of this genome. You can select proteins. Yeah, there is a proteins. You will select, but this is a general. When you have to select proteins from a particular strain, this is showing bad gateway. Maybe there is some upgradation or maybe some other technical issue. But in general, he's giving this server is giving me overall all proteins. This is just I have picked this organism. Very general case. I don't know about this organism, but I have selected this organism. Okay. No, you can select hypothetical proteins. I've shown you. Only. Okay. When these results will come, I think These are the hypothetical proteins from accession number, which will be same for each. This is a general. This is for first, maybe other strain, or other is for other strain. This is the protein product that you have selected. Select at least how many proteins are there? See, there are, I think, 4,397 proteins are hypothetical in this general way. So, how you can perform on 4,397 proteins? Really, it's very difficult task. Is it or not? Lot of work to do, lot of uh, sitting time, space, lots of issue for this. So I'll recommend you, first of all, try to find any organism having proteins at least, because I'll give you a hint, this is 8,163 proteins. Out of these 8,166 proteins, 50% proteins should be hypothetical. They are, in 90% cases, 50% proteins are hypothetical. So what is our target? We'll select any organism having protein range of 1500, 1600 or 1000 only. For example, I'll select Helicobacter pylori. I have characterized this Helicobacter for a particular single strain. There are several other strains which are remaining for their correct. This is the Helicobacter pylori that I have characterized for its hypothetical proteins. But which strain I have choose? I choose first of all, how many strains are there? See how many strains are there. There are several strains. This is a strain. There are several strains. But I don't remember right now which strain I have selected. I'll see in my publication because how many proteins are there? This will be your next task, that how to choose a organism. We know what are the effects of this Helicobacter pylori. This is the strain HbAg1. I have selected this single strain from this part. See, this was the strain that I have selected. This. Okay. HbAg1. Why I have choose this strain? See, out of 1539 proteins, 520 proteins are annotated as hypothetical. Means, firstly, we should know that there are 1539 proteins. That's why I have selected this protein only, this organism only, or this strain only. There are now how many proteins are there? I don't know. I'll not select this. For example, I'll select this right now. As data is already updated and my publication was on 2018. Now, how many proteins are there? Now, see, this is the other strain of same organism. Proteins are 1497. I'll select on this protein or another strain. No, I'll write this hypothetical. Now, you can see that 214 proteins are hypothetical for a particular strain. Now, you can easily compare such type of, if you have 214 proteins, you can easily find the conserved domains of these proteins. You can easily find the sequences of these proteins. You can easily find the PDB blast and this simple template of these proteins. And finally, a today task, we can easily model these proteins by batch processing of fire along with CPH. Okay. If we are doing batch process in fire, whether that same protein is passed in CPH or not, we'll cross check that as well. Okay. And third method, which is a manual method known as modeler, which is a good software, very big thing, modeler. This is another software which is known as modeler, will also verify our modeled proteins by using CPH and fire. Finally, we'll do some modeling by using modeler, which is a very important and most usable software in bioinformatics. For this modeler, we have to select some model, we have to select some template, and we'll generate our model by our own command lines, and we'll do all these things only in offline mode. Because if you will view the tutorial of this modeler, where is the tutorial? This is the tutorial of this model. See, there is some basic modeling that we have done and we are doing, advanced modeling, iterative modeling, and some finally another modeling. But we'll do only basic modeling. And when you will go for research, then what kind of question you will face, then you will go for some advanced type of techniques by using this modeler. See, here it has some structure, but it is in PIR format. What is PIR format? I'll tell you during modeler. They have selected some sequence. Now what they have tried, there are some scripts. Second step, selecting a template that I have told you. Okay, but we have used NCBI blast, but in this case we'll same, this is the same, but we'll do some Python in this, that I'll show you commands, because I don't know, are you aware of this Python or not? Then that's third step is aligning your template. You have already done. Then there is a model building. We'll do a program. It will build a model for us with a particular template. And finally, model evaluation. That will do our some Ramachandran plot or some other type of things that I have shown you right now. Now, this is basically alignment positions of model with template. What is this? Alignment positions of model with template. I'll show you right now. Okay. 1 minute. My model was pass a, that was this was the model. Template was 4F02 and chain D. 4F02 chain D. Now, what will I do right now? I'll download files. Now, what kind of file right now I'll download? I'll download structure. Structure with which my protein was showing identity, means for my protein, this is basically a template. structure of my template. I'll extract the structure of my template. Now this is the structure of our template, and this is the structure of our model protein. Okay, now what will we do? We'll open these two in PyMol. I'll again open this PyMol because the structure is already open. Okay. This is our structure that we have modeled. And again, this is our template based on which our structure was modeled. Now, what is our target? We know that our structure was resembling with chain D. So, what is our main task? We'll select these chains. This is the chain A. Here it is written, this is chain A. And we'll select this. This is chain B. But this is E. I think this is the chain D. Yeah, this is chain D with which our structure is similar. What? For chain E, we'll remove these atoms. Remove. Okay. Now, here template with chain D and our query. Now, what is our next target? We'll go in query and click on A. A means we are going to align our molecule to AF02 on the selected chain template. Now we have more aligned our structure. Now see, structure is how much similarity is there? How much? Have you seen this? This means lot of similarity between these two structures, template and I'll also give them some separate colors so that red is for template and query. I think this is fine. Green. Now we'll zoom this structure. There are lot of similarities, but still there are some gaps. There will be some gaps because we are modeling a structure only with similar backbone, but whole structure is not similar. Okay, because there is a difference between some amino acids as well. Proteins are separate, but the structure is same but not similar. Okay, only backbone is same. Now you can use this structure on the basis of your conserved domains, whether these conserved domains are present in this case, whether these conserved domains are present in other case. I don't know where these conserved domains are because I have randomly selected these sequences, whether these are the conserved domain in this stage. Okay, so you can easily align these models. That was the question, that was the query, Partha, you are asking before starting the is for today class. You have asked that you have downloaded some template and model and you are going to align some, then how to align, you are asking this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's clear for you.
Yeah.
Any other query?
Sir, could you please repeat this PyMol thing again?
Please write this because this is very important part. Please write. Okay, and yeah, because this is really a very important part. One structure, I'll close this and I'll repeat all these things. Okay, first of all, what to do, we'll open our PyMol we have installed. Then we'll upload our modeled structure, which is a pass. I have put those structure and template. This is my model structure from CPH. Okay, again we'll, in this window only, we'll open template of this structure and open. Now we know that in CPH model, either maybe during template identification, this is my exact template 4F02, but chain is D. That is why I told you, you should remember chain is D, A, B, or C, whatever the chain is, I don't know. But right now in this structure, chain is D. Okay, so what will we do? First of all, we'll display sequences. And for this template 4F02A, means this is the A chain. We'll select this A chain by clicking and then select like this. A chain, B chain, we don't require this B chain as well. There is no C chain is only in this. Now this is D chain, we require this. This is the important chain for this structure. Okay. Now.
So the screen has hanged, nothing is happening.
This is hanged. Minute. Now is it visible?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Is it visible? No? Okay, no problem. Again, I'll do the same thing. Is it visible so that I'll do?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is chain A, C. We'll select this. I know you will face one problem. The problem I'll show you this as well. Because you will select like this 1 and 2 and 3. It will waste your time. Just click on first and then left click, left click, and then scroll like this. Then again This is the chain B of this template. We don't require this chain B. And this is the chain C of this structure. Up to this, we'll select this as well. Now this is the chain D. We require this chain because our template is with chain D. We'll go, and after chain D, we'll remove these all unnecessary things. And what will we do? We'll right click and remove. Okay. Now, what is our next part? This is our query sequence. Means query means that we have modeled. We'll click on A. A means alignment, and select align to molecule to our template. Means we are going to align our model structure with the selected template chain. We have aligned. Okay. Now you can review the things, means your site is similar or not, how much similarity is there, how much is conserved domains are in the similar position, either what kind of things are available in this structure. You can easily visualize by selecting. For example, if this is this L and this L, it is a conserved domain. For example, I don't know, this is just my hypothesis. Okay, this A which is similar in this A, this R which is similar in this R. Okay, what will we do? First of all, we have to select these particular domains, and then we'll color these domains in other color. For example, I'll highlight this in red. Okay, also I'll show these colors in, for example, sticks, and color is red. Okay, I know these are the conserved domains. For example, I know, I don't know, but I know for your teaching, for your knowledge only. Okay, now see, we have found that after zooming this, that this is the actually active site. For example, that I'm assuming this is the active site of this protein for which I need to design a drug. And this is almost similar with template. Okay, see how much similarity is there? Almost similar. Okay, now what is the surface character of this structure? We'll go to S and click on surface. Okay, this is the active site for this particular surface. On the basis of surface of a structure, we'll able to find a ligand and we try to fit that drug in that particular surface. Okay, that we'll do during our drug designing class as well. Now, right now, this is the enough for you, I think.
No, actually, what does an active site mean?
Active site means the site which is basically involved in the function of a protein. If the function, I'll again explain you in some other language. For example, there is a bacteria which is known as Helicobacter pylori. Okay, this bacteria is releasing a protein. That protein is interacting with human protein. The protein of Helicobacter pylori is interacting with human protein. How that protein is interacting with our protein? There are some active sites which are basically interacting with our protein. Now, what is our target? We'll block that active site so that that protein will not interact with our protein. Understand?
Yeah. So, active site, when you say, is it some kind of a chemical bond that is open for a reaction or something like that? Or?
Yeah, you can say there are several bonds in these structures. There are bonds, there is in protein, there are several bonds. But this active site is basically the functional part of that particular protein. We have to block that functional part.
Okay.
So that that protein is non-functional and our disease can be cured. Because if that protein will not interact with our protein, our drug will bind that functional part, then how that protein can interact with our protein and can be avoided. Okay. This is basically the part of structural biology that I want to teach you till date. Means structure only, up to structure. After that, this structure is stable or not. This how we can calculate the stability of this structure. There is a tool, GROMACS 5.0. Please install that tool in your systems, but make sure that if you have systems with some low RAM, you will not be able to do in your laptops. For that particular structure, you need some workstations, either some space from big institutes. There are several institutes, they will provide you some spacing. Maybe Dr. Renu, you will also provide some space for this GROMACS for
Yeah,
finding the
yeah.
stability.
Yeah, the GROMACS is already installed, and Nishant and Mangal, they have joined PhD with me. So they have
Yes.
been trying to run the program. So when the next class is there, you can just tell us what we can do from here,
Yeah.
so that even these people can see.
Because I will not be able to do that particular GROMACS part in my laptop, because I'm at my home, and I don't have any workstation there. So I'll just explain you how to run that GROMACS by selecting a particular structure, so that everybody can be able to learn that how we can run the GROMACS in order to find the stability of a structure. Okay.
Yeah.
And after that, you will publish your results after selecting some particular protein. And I'm sure if you have selected a particular strain of any important pathogen, if you have found any important pathogen and you have analyzed those proteins, you have characterized hypothetical proteins at sequence level, and you have modeled the structure of those proteins, you will be able to publish your work within 1 or 2 months very easily. Okay, so be alert and be energetic, so that there may be some benefit after this bioinformatics session.
Yeah, I think they're already very energetic. They're working very well.
This is a good thing. This is a good thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, in my opinion, because I have done a lot of work related to this, and I am teaching you as a research oriented only. So I think papers can be published in this way. And if you are working on Alzheimer, what kind of pathogen is this? You can see the genome is available, how many hypothetical proteins. Maybe from some hypothetical proteins, you can present the results that this is the particular protein which is still in uncharacterized category, which thought to be useless, but this protein has an important role in Alzheimer disease from that particular bacteria. You can.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So I think that, yeah.
Yeah, actually, the initial question I was asking today regarding the template right now, sir, like when the initial part of protein model is all about, for a hypothetical protein, is all about how do you get a template, right? So, but
Yes.
the way we did the template search is only through BLAST.
Actually, blast means you are blasting your blast means you are comparing your sequence with any database. But what is the structural database? This is PDB only. When you are going to perform a structure, then you should select only PDB. There are several other databases, but their information is very limited and very concise, and they are not allowing some public to interfere their databases. For example, there are some Chinese databases, there are some Japanese databases, but for PDB, it is freely available to all of us. So we'll prefer to, because I don't have any subscription for your Swiss model, that is also a separate database. So PDB is the largest database which has X-ray and NMR validated structures. So it is the beneficial for us right now in the current scenario, so that we'll able to find our template from PDB only and perform our next analysis on that particular structure.
Okay. So only so it is fine to get the templates just by doing blast search and taking the top 10 results or something like that, right?
No. Just select template by using blast search. If you are not able to search that template, first of all, you will, for hypothetical proteins, there are several proteins which don't have any resemblance with PDB, because hypothetical proteins are already hypothetical. Maybe there is no information. So maybe there are a lot of proteins which don't have any information in PDB. But if you find any information in PDB, you can select that template with more than 33% similarity in case of homology modeling. Okay, there are some other servers as well, but I think this homology modeling is the best part of the structural biology, and we should go for this only, because any publication, any paper related to in silico structural biology or bioinformatics, if you are going to read, there is only one method, which is homology modeling. Okay, so perform this homology modeling on the basis of the CPH2 models, CPH models, and this FIRE2, either by using modeler. Modeler is remaining, that we'll do in our next class, and after this modeler we'll do some MD simulation. MD simulation means this GROMACS, which is a simulation. We'll do simulations, and in that simulation we'll be able to find that our structures are stable or not. If structures are stable, then easily we can target those structures for drug designing. But if structure is unstable, then you can't design a drug for a particular structure, because structure is not stable. Then how you can design a drug for an unstable structure? If structure is already unstable, then that drug can bind in any other protein. Maybe you are aware of some competitive inhibitors, competitive sites and the enzyme. If you are aware, if you are not aware, no problem. Means that the ligand can bind any other structure, and it can also stop the function of any other protein if structure is unstable. So we'll do some simulation based on GROMACS, by using GROMACS for the stability of any structure in our next class. Okay. Any other query? Yeah.
So GROMACS cannot run on Windows?
No. We need Linux only. If you will run this GROMACS in your Windows, your laptop will crash. So please don't do this.
So then how can we install both? Because most of the data is on computer. So
No. You should use GROMACS from some available sources. For example, means I can't help in this thing that how to find their sources, because I'll suggest you, for example, in IIT Delhi, there is some computational biology space. They will provide you after your particular request, that please provide me some space in your supercomputer. They will provide you 10 GB space. They already have installed GROMACS, and you can use the same commands that I'll teach you in my next lecture, and you can easily find that your structures are stable or not. And if you have any workstation with your friends or with other places, you can contact those as well. I think Dr. Renu, she also has a computer workstation.
Yeah.
She will allow you to run your work on her computer after some
Yeah. She can do. You just tell tomorrow or whenever you have time. Not tomorrow, maybe Monday or Tuesday. That what is required. Then we can run the commands and see if the GROMACS is installed properly and it's running.
Okay.
Then you can tell Swati how she can operate from there.
Yes, she can operate. Yeah, that she will.
Access for the students only, so it's not an issue. You can.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, this problem can be solved. Means you require only some workstations, and you can work your, you can analyze your things on those workstations. No problem. This is not a big issue, and this is basically homology modeling and other things. One important thing is remaining is modeler. That how can we model a structure by using all these things manually? Because currently we have modeled the structures by using online softwares only. Now we'll do manually. Okay, and after that we'll do some simulation, and after that we'll do some drug designing, some sort of hypothetical drug designing by selecting some active sites, and then those docking analysis. These three things are important in structural biology, which are still remaining. Okay.
So they need to download the modeler also, install the modeler.
Yeah, they should install modular as well. Modular.
It says modular 9.23. This one.
Yes, modular 9.3. Yes, latest version of the modular. This is not an issue. Latest version, I think this is 9.3 only, no? Let me see.
I'm not getting the correct link, maybe, of the modular.
Oh, it is freely available.
So this can be downloaded, installed in the laptop itself, right?
Yeah, laptop. You can download this in laptop only. Modular, I have this modular 9.21. I have 9.21. You can install this 9.21 as well, no problem. Okay, or 9.3, which is the latest. This is not an issue because modular will run in the same form. Okay, I have installed this modular 9.21, my 64 window, and please install this modular so that we'll perform some analysis by using modular. After that, we'll do some simulation method by using GROMACS. Okay, and please try to validate at least 10 structures. This will be the assignment till next lecture, so that I'll be able to find that how many structures for your particular selected organism are in pass category and how many are fail, and how many structures you can present in your publication if you have selected any particular pathogen related to your research work. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So actually, I submitted a badge job for PIRE 45 minutes back.
Yes.
For 22 sequences. I still have not got the result.
Okay, please show me your part. Please show.
Yeah, it's still running my 22 sequence batch. So once it's complete, I can show you the result.
No problem. It is running and it will take 1 or 2 days, and it will mail you when results will complete it. Okay.
So for just 22 sequences, it will take a day or two, or
maybe in 1 hour, maybe in 2 hours, maybe in 3 hours. It depends on the internet speed, and it depends on how many jobs are running and your job in queue. It depends. Because for my sequences, when I have submitted 100 sequences, it often looks like 1 day for 100 sequences.
Okay.
Okay. You for hundreds, if you are submitting in batch form, it will surely take some time, because it will analyze in the same way that we have done, but it will follow some programming. But we are doing some, we are doing other things manually, so it will take some time. Okay, maybe in 2 hours it will give you result.
Oh.
It depends on the connectivity. I think that's all for today, and if there is any query related, so please you can.
So we meet on next Thursday.
I think Thursday is because what do you suggest?